4, 3, 2, 1. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 3 of Bros in Different Area Codes. I'm in a different location this time. I am in the wonderful Blue Ridge Mountains with Brian Bell, one of my really good friends. Yeah, we just got done training, which sucked. We're both a little dead right now, but we're still going to record this thing and hopefully give a decent episode. Again, Brian Bell. Hey man, why don't you tell me a little bit, what area code are you from and where you lived and where you at now?
Oh man. So let's see. I'm from 601 and 228, same place. They just split the area code. Since then, 757 858 472 210 602 325 404 and 706. I moved around a little.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about this a little bit last night and in preparation for this, and it was like, oh well, somebody's got me beat. I got 6 under my belt and I haven't even moved all that much, but still got 6 of them. Yeah, man. We kind of just talk here. It's just get to know you a little bit, and we've been friends for a few years now. We've had some time in vehicles under our belts at this point.
Yes.
And we've tooled around a little bit. We've been a part of each other's lives for probably 4 years now, 5 years.
Something like that.
So I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to crack open one of these liquid deaths, because
I think that is a great idea.
I know I have been looking forward to this since I bought them today. So, little liquid death fruity pebble. I'm so stoked about this. And that box did not open how I wanted it to.
They never do.
So the can's cool.
Oh yeah.
So, like I said, we just got done training. I've said it before, and I pretend to be a competitive athlete. That's his fault, if we're being solely honest here.
You're welcome.
Me and Brian met because of our wives. It was one of those weird, like, and I think every husband at some point has it, where like their wife is like, hey, I made a new friend. I think you'd really like their husband. Yeah. And usually for me, it's, oh, this is not going to go well. Is it good?
That is incredible.
Oh, the carbonation goes away right away?
Yeah, it's perfect.
That's weird. It's like the milk. Oh, this might not go
I'm a fan.
Uh-oh. So yeah, I think every husband's kind of got that, like, your wife is like, yeah, I think you'll really like her husband. And I'm like, right. Oh, man.
Yeah, I always hate that. I think our wives met at the library.
Yeah, something like that. It was, and they clicked right away.
Yeah.
Like, and usually my wife doesn't even do that.
Right.
So very strange. And then I think it even took us a while to like really get acquainted. I think we met each other and kind of felt each other out.
Right.
And it was like,
we didn't feel each other up. Just
no, not yet. Not yet anyway. But it was like, and then like, I think we both kind of came to that realization that like, oh, we both lift. We've got that in common.
Right.
That's cool. I mean, I was pretty like lean and shredded at the time, and I think you were getting there.
Yeah.
To that
I was
point.
getting there.
And
I'm not there anymore.
Yes, neither am I. Neither am I. And then that kind of went to like him being like, hey, I do strongman. And I was like, that's cool. I power lift. And you were like, come do strongman. And I was like, no. And then, I don't know, a few months of being like, come do strongman finally came out.
It's a blast.
And, we went to our friend that you introduced me to, Baker. We went to I went up to his house with you, and man, I fell in love with it day one.
Yes.
And, felt kind of cool because it was like, I had a pretty decent showing for my first time doing stuff
Right.
in that realm. And I was like, oh, I can hang with these guys. And then I quickly learned I cannot. Um,
It takes a little getting used to.
yeah, but it's so much fun. And I mean, that inspired me, 3 months into training, I signed up for my first comp, and you rode with me all the way to Valdosta, Georgia.
Yes.
So, I mean, we hadn't even, like, we'd been acquaintances and friends, but like, we hadn't really done much other than like hang out.
Yeah.
Like,
No, like we
training
hung out.
together.
We had trained a few times.
Yeah. And then it was like, hey, you want to come be my handler?
Yeah.
And like travel 4.5 hours in a car with me. And you were down, which was cool.
Why not?
We shared a hotel.
Yeah.
Separate beds. And we had a blast. I mean, had a lot of fun my first comp. Missed weight, which was dumb. Even though we tried to sweat it out in the parking lot, which I thought I was going to die. But yeah, man. So, I mean, big thank you from me for getting me into this sport.
Hey, it is, it's about the most helpful thing in the world for me to have somebody else to train with.
Yeah.
So, the nearest other person I know that actually does this stuff is in Chattanooga.
Yep.
Baker moved away, went to Texas like a terrible human.
Terrible.
Nobody should go to Texas, just so we're clear.
But yeah, like, we've got Andrew up in Chattanooga. We go see him occasionally, and he just happens to be one of the strongest 181 people we know.
One of the strongest 181s on the planet.
Yeah. Him and Josh, who also lives up there. Right. I don't know what's going on in Tennessee with guys that weigh 181 pounds. But
something's in the water.
But they do pretty good.
I think it's Trent.
Don't put that on them. To be clear, I think they're both natural.
Yeah, I don't think they would be 181s.
No, not the way they train. Good God, or eat.
Truth.
But yeah. So like a big thank you from me, and I mean, I don't know if my wife would say it because I spend a lot of time doing this now, but she also gets it, and she knows I have a blast doing it. So, I think for all of us, it's a good thing. But hey man, so I know you grew up in Mississippi, which I'm sorry.
I grew up in Mississippi before the casinos, so it was.
That's right, you're old.
I'm old.
You got like 4 years on me.
It was back then. It was exactly the kind of place people think now that it is.
Right.
They have stoplights and indoor plumbing and everything down there now. Back then it was really backward.
Fair. And I think if we know anything about Mississippi, and I mean, if you're from Mississippi, I'm sorry, but like, we know the educational system is awful. It's usually like bottom tier of the 50 states.
I would like to stand up for my home state, but I think the only defense I can offer is some years we beat Alabama.
Fair. I mean, my state, I'm from New York. My state performs really, really well, but I dropped out of high school, so.
Me too.
Shows you how well that went. They made it too hard. Let's be honest, especially for somebody with like ADHD and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, I know I'm only 38, and I mean, you're 41, and like, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago we were in school, but like, the way the world has changed with like recognizing certain attention deficit disorders and stuff is such a big swing from when we were in school these days that like, I wish I had some of the
right things. Like back then it was like, that kid doesn't pay attention, he's poorly behaved, give him a spanking, right? And to be fair, I'm not defending that. A lot of people look back on that like it was some kind of golden age of beating children. I don't think that's a good idea, but no, I have autism and ADHD. I wish that the recognition we have now was there 35, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Sadly, it wasn't.
Yeah. I think we blame that on Tylenol now, right? Is that the real thing?
Yeah. Let me rephrase. I am a Tylenol American.
So yeah, take us a little bit through like early life, teenage years, 20s, like whatever you want to share, man. Like, I know you've done a lot, so.
Fair enough. So let's see, I grew up in South Mississippi, maybe 30 minutes from the beach, which is to say I grew up in the swamp. Pretty much feral. When school let out for the summer, I tried not to go indoors until school started again.
That's fair.
So I got into some really weird hobbies like foraging and hunting and building shelters in the woods, which I still oddly do now. I walk around out here and eat things instead of going to the grocery store.
He
I'm a
walks
weird
my
guy.
kids around my yard eating things as
Yes.
well. So the amount of times that my 5 kids have walked around my yard with him being like, "Can we eat this?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Um, but I won't say I was a normal kid. I was a weird kid. I'm a weird adult now. It just is what it is. But I wouldn't change the way I grew up for anything in the world. Behind the house, there was about 800 acres that, as far as I know, nobody owned. That was my private little slice of heaven.
You never met him.
I never met him if anybody did own it. Got a little older, got into, drinking a little bit of light weed. Grades started to suffer. Social life got better. Crazy how that works. Come 9th grade, I dropped out of high school. So the highest education I've ever completed at this point is the 8th grade. I've been in college off and on since the year 2000, somewhere thereabout, and I still have no degree. Let's see. I went to seminary. At one point, I was going to be a Baptist preacher because in some universe that made sense. When I decided that wasn't going to work out, I dropped out and joined the military. About 5 years in the Navy on active duty and 4 more years in the Army National Guard. Deployed a bunch of times to a bunch of different places. I was a radio operator in the Navy and airborne infantry in the Army. Because again, somehow that made sense.
Let's jump out of planes.
Yes, it's a great idea. If you really hate your back, jumping out of planes is an awesome way to enact that. Since I got out, I basically spent most of my adult life working in cybersecurity. I won't go into that. It's about the most boring job on the face of the planet. I stare at a screen and look at numbers all day. Would not recommend. I got introduced to strongman about 10, 11 years ago. Somebody was just teaching a free seminar, and I thought, why not? By the end of the day, I was completely in love. And I started training seriously for it maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's basically been the best move I ever made. I
think the year before I really met you and started hanging out with you, I think you did like GSM and...
I did CGSM. The year before that, I did Rhino-Geddon, which has been discontinued now, but that was my first novice show. I made the podium. I was pretty proud of that.
Yeah.
It's just been fun.
Yeah. And I mean, I think I know with some of your college ventures, there was some, sports physiology or...
Yeah. I studied nutritional biochemistry, evolutionary biochemistry, and exercise physiology at different times. No, I didn't get my degree in any of those things.
It's a wealth of knowledge, though.
I learned enough to be dangerous.
Hey, you've cured some of my aches and pains and ailments, and I hated you for the things you made me do, but
that's what we do.
It helps. Let's be honest here. No, man, and I know with when we met, it's we're both sober.
Yes.
So we've got that in common. That's been a big bonding part of our friendship as well.
Yeah.
Has been, just sobriety in general. Sometimes it's hard to come by sober friends.
Right. It's easy to find people to drink with. It's not the easiest thing in the world to find people to not drink with.
Yeah. That actually just want to hang out and
Right.
do things. And I mean, we do hang out outside of just training together and
On
stuff
occasion,
too.
yeah.
So, but I mean, our training sessions are also more like a therapy session a lot of times
Right.
too. So,
Sometimes something like a stand-up routine.
yeah, oh yeah, well,
You know.
probably get in trouble for some of the things we say too.
Yeah.
That's fine. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
What happens in the mountains stays in the mountains. And just so you guys know, like we literally are in like the Blue Ridge Mountains right now.
Yeah,
Like,
we are. We're on the summit right now of an unnamed mountain.
Yeah.
I guess I live here, so
you
does
should
that mean
name
I
it.
get to name it?
Are you at the peak?
Yeah, this is the peak.
So yes,
I think I should name it.
I am going to tell you yes.
All right. I'm gonna just claim legal authority and give it a name.
I think we're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
No, but like we're in the mountains. For me, like I drive up here. It's about a 40-minute drive. It's not terrible. I also get to drive through the mountains, which is pretty cool. Except for right now, it is the end of September going into October, which means it's apple season in North Georgia.
Yeah.
And we get the flock of invaders to this wonderful area.
That
And-
started about 5 years ago. Yahoo News. It's their fault.
Oh,
They ran an ad back in 2020, I think it was, maybe 21, but recommending Ellijay as the vacation spot that everybody needed to go to. And Ellijay is home to the Apple Festival. And suddenly, out of nowhere, like there are between 20 and 40,000 residents in the entire county.
Yeah.
And it exploded to over 150,000 that first year for Apple Festival.
that's insane. That's too many people up here.
It is far too many people. We are not set up to support that.
The infrastructure is not built for this up here.
Also, just as a public service announcement, if you're from Texas or Florida or Indiana or Kansas, the roads here do have curves and there are hills. And I know you're very unfamiliar with that, but I'm here to tell you it's okay to do more than 25 miles per hour.
We don't have to do school speed limits in the mountains. It's fine. We both drive big trucks and we can drive 60.
Yeah.
It's fine. No, but like, yeah, I think just to kind of get back to the strongman thing, I mean, I know that like for this past year, like I've had a coach, but like I also have you as a friend and the immense help, like not only that you give by like having a place to train but like also like my coach is great. Like he's been awesome for my programming and stuff like that. But like, there's only so much you can see in a video,
Right.
when it comes to some corrections and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Some
I also-
things you need to be there in person
Yeah.
for.
And I have you to yell at me. And
That counts for a lot.
and also there, like, I mean, we've also competed together a few times,
Yeah.
which has been pretty cool. And we just turn into massive cheerleaders of each other and anybody that we're friends with. Honestly, everybody.
Yeah,
at the
pretty
comp.
much just everybody there.
You just become a giant cheerleader. I think, which is one of the coolest things about strongman.
Yeah.
As opposed to like any other strength sport, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
There's
I,
like it's an individual sport, right? But like the community behind it is so cool.
for real. My first competition, I didn't really know what I was doing. And I can remember, being back warming up and having seasoned competitors come in and, give me pointers, show me how to do things, and then kind of close out with like, hey, good luck. I hope you beat me.
Yeah.
And they really meant it.
Yeah, they want the competition, which is like the cool part about it. Is like they want you to push them just as much as they're going to push you.
Absolutely.
And I think like I can remember, we have a fairly local competition here called Big Bear Fight. I'm not going to try to pronounce the German thing. You can probably do that. You're a nerd.
Der große Bärenkampf, I
There-
think.
Yeah.
I don't speak German. But
Yeah, but you got this whole like linguistic thing. That's for another time.
we can get weird with it.
Exactly. But like, I remember showing up to that 2 years ago and we had to carry a fire hydrant.
Yes.
And we were like, how does one train for carrying a fire hydrant?
If one doesn't have a fire hydrant.
And where do you get a fire hydrant?
Right.
because I didn't know where to get a fire hydrant.
I still don't.
I'm still not sure how they acquired theirs.
Semi-legally?
I'd hope. But like, I remember there was probably 10 to 12 of us standing around this fire hydrant being like, how are we going to carry this?
Right.
Like, and it was all people who obviously had never picked up a fire hydrant. So we're trying all these different techniques. And I mean, any other like strength sport that I've attended an event at, whether that be like powerlifting or anything, like you don't get those like types of people around
Right.
to like, okay, like, is it going to be better if I pick this up and pin it to my chest? Okay, there's this nipple on this side. That's going to hurt. It's going to be jabbing me in the ribs the entire time while I'm trying to walk with this thing. And, you know, I feel like it's been like that for me with like every competition. Like I'm not scared to like give people that I'm competing against pointers.
Right.
Like, you know, the last one I did, there was a sandbag throw over a bar. And the guy that like was literally my competition was like, I don't have a lot of experience in this. So I'm like, all right, well, this is how you do it. Like, because I wanted him to do better, strictly based off of like, it had to make me step my game up and do better. And, you know, for that competition, it came down to the last event for us. And that was that insane punching bag overhead carry thing. And, you know, I breezed past that. Like, it was way easier than I thought it was going to be. And he ended up having troubles like getting it up over his head and then carrying it. So worked out to my advantage.
Fair enough.
Even though I never trained that once. So it worked out. But I think that's the coolest thing about strongman is like, you even see it in like, you know, everybody knows world's strongest man, you know, at this point, strongest man on earth, stuff like that. You even see those guys.
Yeah.
Like when they're, you know, you always see the behind the scenes footage, not with worlds, unfortunately, but like strongest man on earth, everybody's allowed to create content. And you see them all like together, like testing out the implements and stuff like that and giving each other like tips and tricks. And it's like, these guys are literally vying for like $100,000 grand prize or something, yet they're still
tons of huge sponsorships.
And they're still like, just like the rest of us, that they're like, ah, man, you should like, you know, try it like this. And, you know, not everybody's going to take that to heart or whatever. You know, they've been training it one way. It's hard to switch right before a competition.
Right.
But hey, if it can give you a little extra step in what you're doing, you know, there's no harm in that.
That's it.
And so, yeah. Again, thank you for getting me into this sport because it's so much fun. Like,
it's been a blast.
I've never had more fun doing something, and then also like transitioning something I've made into a hobby into like everyday life too.
Yes.
Because now it's to the point where like I need something moved in my house, and I have to like eye it up for a minute and be like, how am I going to carry this?
Yes.
And you just figure it out.
Yeah, you get pretty good at lifting very awkward things.
Yeah, because nothing we do is
normal,
smart. I mean, there's certain stuff that, you know, you take everything you've ever learned about lifting something and you throw that completely out the window.
Yeah, right. Lift with your back, not with your legs.
Yeah. We have a lot of those events. And then why am I going to, I mean, we just ran 3 rounds of 100-foot, 150-pound sandbag.
That's terrible.
And
that is too far to carry a sandbag of any weight.
We had no reason to do it either.
Yeah, none.
I think that's the other thing is like, you know, I feel like there's been a few times we've come up here, like I've come up here and we've had a plan of what we're going to do.
Right.
And then like other times it's like, what are we doing today? And then we just make it the worst thing possible.
Yes.
Like, I think the only smart thing we did today, and I don't even know if it's smart, is we decided to go, like, we were like, oh, we're not going to do the log, but we're going to press an axle.
Yeah.
And I guess that's better.
Maybe. In theory, the axle is more injury prone, but it's also less unpleasant.
I'm also better at it.
Yes.
So there's that too.
Same.
Way better with the axle than the log. But yeah, man. So I know a little bit about your service time. I know you don't talk about it very much. I don't know how much you like talking about it. I never bring it up because it's never a thing for me to be like,
right.
You know, I have this weird thing where like I never served, but like usually because of my awkwardly dark sense of humor, I end up getting along with veterans and stuff really well, and like first responders and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, because we just kind of click on that level. Um, and so, I mean, do you know how many times you jumped?
Uh, Not enough to ever stay current on jump status. I know that. At least 5.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, you do 5 jumps in jump school. After that, I kind of had a spotty record of showing up when I was supposed to for drill. In the National Guard, you can make up drill. So
Okay.
I would, my civilian job at the time, I worked in a high security clearance, national security position. So a lot of times I just couldn't leave to go play soldier for a weekend,
Okay.
that kind of thing.
Fair.
So I'd miss a couple of drills and then just go spend a week straight doing administrative stuff in the drill hall or whatever. But so a lot of the jumps to stay current on jump status, I would just miss. Honestly, I hated it. I hated jumping. I'm not exactly a tiny human, and I was guaranteed to hit the ground like a ton of bricks, no matter what. So,
No grace. No grace.
no, I'm not a graceful person.
Hey, I watched you walk a yoke down a set of stairs.
I think I overhead carried that.
You did.
Yeah.
So, like, that's pretty graceful. I mean, you gotta have something in there. Good core strength. Like,
Yeah, right. But no, I deployed to Iraq twice, Africa twice, and a few other places. I did a lot of command and control, communications, computer forensics work, what they call sensitive site exploitation, digital media exploitation. So essentially, the really cool guys that have the square sunglasses in the pictures, they weren't very good at computer forensics. So you go out, you seize the computer, you do all that, right? So a lot of the target packages for the guys that used to be on playing cards, all the intel for targeting those people, or a lot of the intel rather, came from either cell phones or computers, just slowly assembling a huge web of information about it. And that's a lot of what I did on active duty.
Okay.
So
that's pretty cool. Probably what led you into like the whole cybersecurity world and all that as well. So
I had the security clearance and I had a pulse, and
you knew how to work a computer good enough.
at the end of the day, that's all that was really required at the time to get into government contracting. They figured that if you were underqualified, that meant they could underpay you and still train you to do the job.
Yeah.
So, my first cybersecurity job, I made $30,000 a year, which I'm pretty sure I would have made more working at Costco. But it taught me a skill set that's become lucrative since then. So.
Yeah. I think Milo just realized I'm still here.
Oh. Yeah.
You guys probably didn't hear that, but
I have a mini Australian Shepherd that does not like anyone but me.
And your wife.
And my wife, but she's not here right now.
Yeah.
So,
His other dogs like me though, so
yeah.
got that going for him. We got Watson. Watson's cool.
Watson's cool.
He's a cool dude. I think that's another thing that we also share is like a genuine love for dogs.
Dogs are the best.
We're
Way
both,
better than people. No offense, but
all offense, if we're being honest. But like, I think that there's certain bonding things that everybody has, and like, one of them, and everybody's like, oh, I love dogs, but I think when you like genuinely love dogs, it's a bit different.
Yeah,
because I'm like,
it's different.
Every dog is going to be my friend.
Yes.
And if they're not, I'm really disappointed.
Yeah.
Like,
at some point, Milo's going to be your friend.
Yeah, dude, we're going to make that happen.
Like, you have to bring some hot dogs next time you come over.
Fair.
If you have treats, he'll learn to be your friend.
I can handle that. I know you've met all of our dogs, obviously, and I think it's really funny because like, my dog Maisie is half German Rottweiler and half German short-haired pointer. and she's not a small dog. She's like 80
She's a
pounds,
big girl.
and she's all muscles. Like she's, and like we have this thing. It's uppy puppies,
Puppy
and
puppies.
we pick the dog up and we snuggle the dog. Well, Brian just so happens to be one of the only other men that comes around that can handle that, and she is all there for it.
She is a fan.
Yeah, she became a best friend right away, strictly based off of that. And yeah, it's always weird to me. They're like, people are like, "Oh yeah, I love dogs," and I'm like, and then they're like, "Oh, I don't like pit bulls," and I'm like, "What?"
Do they know that a pit bull is a dog?
Exactly. I'm like, no, bring the pit bull here.
Yes.
I want to pet it. So yeah, man, it's so nice out here right now.
It is. It's just gotten to the time of day where we're not completely surrounded by gnats and mosquitoes. Too.
Yes. And it's, we were both in the same spot like when we first met. Like as far as like needing to find a house.
Yes.
And I know that you guys also you guys looked at the house that we ended up buying.
Yeah.
Which is kind of hilarious.
Right. Yeah,
and
I think we almost bought that one.
Yeah.
But,
I think your wife said something along the lines of, "This one's not for us."
Yeah, she just felt like it was for someone else.
Yeah. Yeah. And that just so happened to be us.
Perfect.
And it worked out. And we kind of both got our own little slices of what I like to call "leave me the hell alone."
Perfect.
Which I know we are both all here for. And I think
told you I was going to get hit by one of those.
We are surrounded by acorns, and it's been a hazard since we got out here. But yeah, I mean, you guys have what, almost 9 acres out here?
Yeah,
almost
right
9. We're just under 6. And I think we both really bought like our prime, like spot for what we're gonna have right now. And I think you guys as well. It was your first house, that you bought. And
yeah, first time homeowner,
Yeah.
41 years old.
Yeah.
I'm a little behind in life.
Yeah, same. It was our first one too. And, I know ours, and I mean, I'm sure it was probably about the same for you guys, where it was like, I can't afford rent.
Yeah.
It was honestly cheaper for me to buy a house.
It was about the same price for me.
Yeah.
But at least this way I'm building equity, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Also, it's mine.
Yeah.
Nobody can tell me, I can't
Paint something or knock down a wall.
can't cut a tree down or paint the walls or hang a picture,
Man, it'd be real bad if somebody told me I couldn't cut trees down. I cut down a lot.
right? I need to cut down a lot.
Yeah, we'll get there. And I also, you also did house framing and stuff for a while.
Yeah,
I know that.
Yeah, before I realized that I could turn the computer forensic stuff into a civilian career, because I had no idea you could do that outside the military at the time.
Oh, okay.
So when I got off active duty, my first job, I was a house framer and finish carpenter. Then I was a boilermaker and structural welder.
Okay.
Because why not, right?
Yeah. Pass it around,
Yeah.
I mean, I spent a lot of my time, I think, when Jess and I first got together, I was doing a bunch of contract work for companies doing electrical work on railway cars and subway cars and stuff like that.
Sweet.
So did a lot of electrical stuff there. And, it's a skill that doesn't really carry over into much else. You know what I mean?
Fair.
Like, I have a healthy fear of electricity.
Valid.
How's I mean, you're what? How long you been sober now?
January will be 7 years.
7 years. That's awesome, man. That's so cool. I know. August for me was 6.
Nice.
So about half a year behind you, a little bit. And I think in that realm, for both of us, it was kind of it had to happen.
Oh yeah.
For our marriage sake, for our life sake, for a little bit of everything.
For the sake of everybody around me.
That is what
was. I'm not going to say that I'm the healthiest person to be around now, but I was certainly a very unhealthy person to be around.
See, you say that. I think you're a very healthy person to be around.
I try.
But
Uh,
then again, we share a lot of the same likes and dislikes and stuff like that. So it's a little different. You also, I know, you have a bit of a somewhat musical background as well.
yeah, I started playing bass when I was 14 years old, something like that. At this point, I've decided to just diversify that hobby. So I have a ton of instruments, and I'm not very good at most of them. But I'm dabbling in bass, upright bass, cello, guitar, piano, banjo, violin, and harp. Because
It's a lot of things with strings.
totally normal stuff. I've tried to play things without strings, and it doesn't work for me.
That's fair. I mean, I've always dabbled. I always found my realm in like the vocal range, screaming, not singing. We don't sing. um, but well, yeah, I think like because I did the band thing. I know you did the band thing as well.
Yeah.
The little punk stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think now you're playing with some old dudes at a music shop.
Yeah. We just we get together. I'm 41. I'm the youngest person at the jam most weekends, but
That's awesome though.
we get together on Saturdays and just play anything country to folk music to old rock to whatever from the last 60 years or so.
That's so cool though. That's like one of those goal type things. I just want a bunch of older dudes to like play music with and stuff like that.
It's a blast.
And get to hang out and just kind of do it. I get in my kicks where I'm always like, being in a band again would be really fun because I have any time for that whatsoever.
Right.
But like,
And that's why I'm not in an actual band. I actually got invited last year to audition as a bassist in a jazz band, like a real touring band. The wife and I talked about it. There is no way I have time for that. I'm 41 years old. I barely have time to handle my business around the house.
you usually don't. It's funny because like I started the whole podcast thing, and it was just kind of like it's something that I've been like talking about for years, and kind of had this whole idea of just like connecting with old friends I have now, and just kind of like talking about life and like introducing people to just like people that I find fun and interesting. And that's kind of my goal is like, even if it's one of those things for me that if a ton of people don't watch it, I still got to sit down and have the conversation.
Right.
And
Why
have
not?
fun. And it's recorded. It's like, I started a few years ago where when I went to, it really hit me. Like I'd go back home to New York and visit. And I look back on like my teenage years and stuff like that. And we didn't have like the access now that we do to like cameras and stuff. So I don't have a lot of pictures with friends
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
If you had a camera, it was like an $8 disposable from the pharmacy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it was questionable whether those came out or not.
Right.
Did I move my hand slightly when I took the picture? But I've kind of made it a point now where it's like I've started like taking pictures with friends,
Yes.
like when I go to visit and stuff like that. Even if it's just this stupid like typical white girl selfie,
Right.
like in the car or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to have that documented because it's like, how long is it again before I see them?
Right.
Will I see them? You never know what's going to happen. You
Yeah,
know
I
what
mean, I'm at that age where I've lost friends.
Absolutely.
People that sometimes people that I hadn't seen for 20 years, and then suddenly, here's the obituary, and what happened?
Yeah.
Just wish we had hung out. I wish I had some pictures. I wish I had good stories to tell, but
yeah. And some of the thing is like you do kind of reminisce on some of those stories, and like you're like, man, we had good times together, and it's like,
right.
Kind of glad it wasn't documented.
Yeah. I'm admittedly glad YouTube didn't exist when I was a teenager.
Any social media, let's be honest.
Man.
Anywhere I could put a video or something stupid. luckily by the time like YouTube and all that rolled around, like I was already married and
Right.
kind of settling into life. But we've come to this point. You guys, how long have you and Joanna been married now?
Almost 5 years.
I mean, I've got mine too.
Yeah.
I've got mine.
Neither she nor I can actually remember our anniversary, so I went and looked up the court records and got it tattooed.
The only reason I remember mine is because it was 2 days after my 20th birthday.
Fair.
So, like, it's pretty easy to remember, like, the number and
yeah.
the
So
date.
we've been together since 2012. 2012. Yeah.
Okay.
We got married in 2019. So.
Yeah. I mean, solid 13-year relationship. Right? I math that right? It's 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah, 13. That's a long time.
Yeah, I don't know what year it is half the time.
It's fair. I try to forget most of the time.
I mostly stay here on my mountain and don't really bother with what's going on in the outside world.
It's honestly fair. Yeah, I know you got removed from social media and stuff, a couple years ago now, right? You removed yourself?
About a year and a half, something like that. But I got rid of cable TV in 2010. About 5 years ago, I dumped all the streaming services. Last year, I got rid of social media. Honestly, my life is exponentially better than it was before.
I mean, that's completely understandable. I mean, I keep mine around for like this stuff and family and everything, but honestly, there's so many times that I'm just like, I should just get rid of it.
Right. I think the greatest day of my life will be when I can retire and no longer have to have internet or a cell phone. I will go get a landline like my ancient relatives.
That's right. You have to call me.
Yes.
I will have an answering machine and everything. No voicemail. It'll be an actual answering machine with a tape.
With a tape. Yeah.
And it's going to blink red at me when there's a message.
Perfect.
Yeah, I it's funny because I'm always like, my favorite place is home.
Yeah.
Like, I love being home. And, like, I love my property and just everything. And then, like, I know we're kind of the same in this, too. We're, like, social situations are tough.
Yes. One might say that I struggle socially.
Same. And I think that's another reason that we kind of get along, too, because it's like, we kind of know when we've had enough of each other.
Yes.
It's a pretty mutual, like, it's funny because, I don't know, it was somewhere I saw it. It was like this little pin that you could wear that it's like your social battery, and you could slide it back and forth from red to green.
And I might need to get one of those.
I need one. I showed it to Jess, and I was like, I think I need one of these.
Right. I've always been pretty well known for the old Irish goodbye.
Yeah. And it's funny because, and your wife is probably the same way, where she knows when it's time, when you're somewhere.
70% of the time.
Yeah.
I think she knows all the time. Sometimes maybe she won't let herself know.
She prolongs it a little bit because she's having a good time.
She is a great deal more extroverted than I am.
Yeah. Same thing with me and my wife. It's like, she knows when I reach my limit of like my socialism. Wait, whoa.
Hold on now.
Whoa. Whoa. Social life.
There you go.
Because it's a drastic drop off.
Yeah.
I'll be fine, and then all of a sudden it's like done.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, there's no gradual shift. You just go and then you hit a wall and you're done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now the thing I will say to my wife's massive credit is that if we're out somewhere and I disappear, she'll just text me and be like, okay, where are you at, in case I need to come find you.
That is the one nice thing about phones.
Yes.
I know that, like, especially when we're somewhere that's like somebody's house or something, and like if they have a dog,
Oh, yeah. That's where you'll find me.
Jess will be like, if I find the dog, I will find the husband.
Yes.
Like, I showed her a video a couple weeks ago that like it was this couple, they were on like they were on like a houseboat and they were at like some party. And the dude, he like goes and finds her husband and he's like down inside the boat eating a bag of chips with the dog. And I'm like, that would be me.
Yeah.
That's where
Perfect.
and then there was another one that I showed her and she was like, this could also be you, because this girl found her husband in their home gym of this other couple. He like found their home gym and he was like benching, and I was like,
no, that's acceptable.
I was like, well, you have a home gym, I'm gonna use it. Like, I'm done with you people.
Yeah, don't tell me, make yourself at home, because I will,
Hey, yeah.
especially if you have a home gym.
Yeah. And it's funny because, it's been a lot. And I think that, we're actually about to do a little bit of a fun adventure. This episode probably won't come out for like 2 weeks, so we'll be past it at that point. But we're about to venture into a 72-hour fast. And we're both sick of being on the heavier side at this point, and it's time for a bit of a change. So I'm hoping when this comes out, we're both down a pretty decent amount.
Yeah, it'll be something. It'll be an adventure.
We're being attacked.
I'm never quite certain if it's just the acorns falling from the tree, or occasionally the squirrels will get aggressive and throw them.
Why are you out here? So, all right, man. Well, I don't want to take up too much more of your evening, so you can go hang out with your dogs.
Yes.
And I'm sure talk to your wife.
Well, I guess if you're into that sort of thing.
If I have to. I should probably get home to my family too.
Well,
So, hey, man, I appreciate you coming on and
hey, thanks for having me.
doing this with me. It's been a lot of fun. I feel like we covered a few more things than, we've ever really. It's hilarious being like, I doubt I'll ever have like a female audience, you know what I mean? But like, I don't think they sometimes like, and guys will get this, we don't talk about things.
No.
Like, the amount of times my wife is like, so I'll come home and be like, hey, such and such did this. And she's like, okay, and I'm like,
and what?
end of conversation.
If they wanted me to know, they would tell me.
Yeah. And then she'll be like, well, when are they doing that? And I'm like, oh.
What did they say then? Am I supposed to keep a transcript?
We went back to listing things. I don't know. Like, it was in passing. We were in between sets. I don't know. Like,
and I'm told that I'm supposed to ask probing questions and show an interest in whatever's going on, but whatever's going on is like the next set. So
yeah, and then like it'll be like we'll get into the conversation if we want to have the conversation.
Right.
But like, I'm never one to like dive into something like unless you're willing to talk. Like, if you start to open up, I'm gonna listen.
yeah, absolutely.
But
I'm not gonna pry. You'll tell me if you want me to know.
Yeah. And we've both been on the receiving end of phone calls from each other and text messages and being like, hey, we need to get we should get together. Like, and
let's go shoot some pool and talk about things.
Exactly. Which might be the most hilarious thing, two sober guys walking into a bar to order non-alcoholic beers and shoot pool. Which is the best. Because I had two options today. It was either show up with non-alcoholic beer or Fruity Pebble Liquid Deaths.
You made the right call.
Absolutely. Well, we were standing around earlier this afternoon and I was like, did you know?
I did not know.
And then that turned into, where can I buy some locally? And I had to go 15 minutes out of my way to go get it. And I was perfectly okay with it because
acceptable.
This
I'm
stuff
very
is
glad you did.
Delicious. I'm so happy I did this.
Yes.
But again, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. And I'm sure I'll have you on again. They're getting closer. It's a sign. So appreciate you, brother.
I think we're done.
Get out of here.